Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. We are back with another episode of Lessons with Lindsey Live. It is me, Lindsey A of VA, and I'm so happy to be back in the place with you lovely, lovely people. I have a very special guest today. Let me welcome my guest to you, Shantel. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey.
Please tell the people who you are and what you do.
Yes, I am Shantel SolÉ. I am a singer. I'm an international artist. I'm also an engineer and a producer, brand ambassador, motivational speaker. I'm just all around, entertainer.
That girl, yes, ma'am. I love it. I love it. I love it. So let's just start right in with it. Let's talk about the name because I know it has a deep meaning. I've heard you
Yeah.
break it down before, right? But I would love for the people to know the inspiration behind your name, what it means, and where it comes from.
Yeah, so my name is Shantel SolÉ. When I first got serious about music and I was signed with like an independent label, they wanted me to find a name, and I wanted something that, wasn't commercial. I wanted something that was real to me. So I felt like, I'm most inspired by soul music. So I did some research on the different pillars of soul music and tried to identify who I identify with most and who I felt like influenced me the most. And then I realized it's not just one specific person, like I identify with all of them. So I felt like I'm the new generation of soul music. So it's like I'm SolÉ. So outside of that, I began to think further into it, and SolÉ actually is a state in which one cannot receive nor reciprocate negative energy. It's a state in which one is solely focused on the bag. So when I say I'm Shantel SolÉ, when I say I'm too SolÉ for this, it's not just me. I love my name that much. That's really a state. Like, it's just peace. I'm not giving you nothing negative. I'm not taking nothing negative. We just gonna be SolÉ about it. We focus on the
Yeah,
bag.
I love that. I think that is so deep for a number of reasons, just because we're in a space right now where you receive so many different energies. You're around
Yeah.
different people, you go into different settings, whether it's work, personal, whatever the case may be. Throughout your day, you interact with so many energies.
Yeah.
And if you decide, like, I'm in a state of tranquility, I'm in a state of positive energy, I'm a positive force. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you get to change the thermostat wherever you are. You get to change the room wherever you step into it
Mm-hmm.
because you control your energy and what you're putting out
Right.
there to the world. So I think that is so dope and so deep. I love it so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's hit on this international part. Let's talk about that. When, where, how? Give me the whole rundown. I want the whole story of how you became an international recording artist.
Um, so it's no secret. A lot of people be like really embarrassed to talk about, like, oh, I used to be married. Yeah, I used to be married. And at my marriage at the time, my spouse was stationed to go overseas to Japan. And so I took a leap of faith and I went to Japan. Now I didn't go over there to, initially, oh yeah, I want to be an artist, because I couldn't speak Japanese. I didn't know anybody over there. So if it just happened that I was going to do music, it was just going to have to happen naturally. So I was over there, and for a while, it made me be solidified in my identity as an artist. Because if you're really an artist, if you're really a motivational speaker, if you really are what you say you are, it's not going to matter where you are. People are going to receive whatever your gift is. So for a while, I was intimidated. And then I had to come home for about a month, and then I realized, like, well, I'm Shantel SolÉ. Like, my family here are believing in me. My supporters here are believing in me. They're expecting me to go over there and still be Shantel SolÉ and not have fear. So I went back in July, and I just got my feet wet. Like, I had every show I had in Japan was a paid show. Like, I was out in Tokyo, I was in Roppongi, I was on different bases. And it was just like a mind-blowing experience. Like, I connected with so many different people. I even have doors now that are still open in Japan. So, I went there and I did that, and that's actually where I wrote my album Vulnerable, because I was actually going through a divorce. So, I was dealing with a lot, not just in the midst of being an international artist. So I found myself being overseas, and it gave me the confidence I have now to be able to have the confidence that I speak with now, because I know it's not just about my location. The world knows, and when they see me, they're gonna feel it too. So being an international artist is definitely, that's why I say it like that. I'm an international artist, because it's such a big flex that people don't even understand. Like, it really is.
No, like seriously, like when you said it the first time I met you, I was like, okay, international. Like that's not just here. That's not
Not
just
just
you and
yet.
your people in like somebody's garage. Like that's
Yeah.
real. That's legit. That's so dope. How do you feel like that time period and that recording overseas and being over there? How do you feel like that kind of stretched you as an artist?
Woo, like if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be like where I am now because here, there's so many shows everywhere. Like everybody's doing open mics, showcases everywhere. And that was the first time where I wasn't going a mile a minute. I wasn't in the studio every day. I wasn't going to 3 shows a night. My time wasn't occupied. So I thought working hard was staying busy as an artist. But in Japan, I was stripped of the studio because I tried to go once with the language barrier. It just kind of hindered my creativity vibe. It was just a lot. So I was just like, nah. But I had to explore different avenues. I had to explore the business aspect of it. I had to explore and get a grip on social media. So I'm not there in your face, but I can understand how to use social media and how to take different pictures. So it made me, and then over there when you're trying to get a show, it's not just, hey, you having a show, yeah, let me pull up and have it. No, you have to, almost like a job interview, you have to present your portfolio, you have to present your resume, you have to almost come as yourself. They have to see you and speak with you, they have to hear what you have. So it's like every time you get a gig, it's not like you just go on to some random show, you show up, whatever. You get paid a fee, you're expected to do this, you're expected to be here at this time and go there. So Japan made me take a step back and realize like artistry isn't just recording 50,000 songs in 1 year. Artistry isn't just how many shows did I have this month. Being an artist is other aspects of it too. So it made me look at a lot of things different. Even being back here, a lot of things aren't as important to me as I thought they were. So it changed me in a different way. It gave me a different fire, like a different, like willpower, if I would say, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that. I love that. Honestly, I feel like people don't understand how much they can grow when they have to operate out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like it really tests your capabilities, your boundaries, your
Mm-hmm.
creativity, all the things when you're in a whole new space that's completely foreign to you, whether it's a different country or just a different
Right.
environment, a different culture, and you get there and you excel. It
Yeah.
does something different to your confidence because like you come back like where you used to and it's like, oh, okay, nah,
Yeah.
y'all don't know what I know. But
Exactly.
it's real, but that's what really puts you ahead of the game. That's what kind of elevates you. So like even if you came back and people were like, oh, you think you big stuff, it's like, no, I'm just moving different now.
Yeah, it's as simple as
The
that.
mindset shift. It's like y'all don't have no idea what I've endured to get the stability and the
Right.
foundation that I created. So I'm not worried about what you worried about because I've already done that part.
Right. Yeah.
I
Exactly.
get
Speaking my language.
yeah, girl, yes, I know. Listen, but that's dope. And that opportunity, like, some people can focus on all the things that went wrong. Like you could have
Mm-hmm.
easily been like, I'm in Japan. No one understands what I'm talking about. No one
Mm-hmm.
speaks my language. No one does this, that, and the third, and came back and stayed here. But
Yeah.
you went back and then decided, like, I'm gonna make this work. I'm going to make
Mm-hmm.
this happen for me because this is my wheelhouse. This is what I was created to do. That
Right.
part right there in itself is so important because people forget sometimes it's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get
Yeah.
uncomfortable. It's gonna be things that you don't really, really like, but they
Mm-hmm.
make you better.
Right.
They always make you better. Like it's
Always.
never a moment where something's so bad that it doesn't allow you to grow from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, you created your whole album going through a
Yeah.
divorce. Like without that, you wouldn't have created the album.
Right. And it's crazy even creating that album. I was scared. I mean, it's called vulnerable because I had to be so vulnerable. I mean, it's kind of a vulnerable situation to be in another country and feel like you're stranded and needing help to come back home. And that's the situation I was in. So vulnerable is very vulnerable to the point where I even contemplated if I wanted to put my business out there like that. But it's
Yeah.
crazy because now women are going through the same exact thing. And I
Yeah.
said, hey, just listen to that song. Hey, oh my gosh, that song was for, because and it's like if I didn't go through that, and people are, you're so wise. How did you? I'm not wise because I read a book about it. I'm just wise because I experienced it, and
Right, I
I'm just
lived
happy
it.
I'm able to put it in music where you don't have to go. And if you don't have the time to go read a book, you can just listen to a song and kind of soak up wisdom in that moment. So girl, it's just so like looking back, it's like I can't believe that we going through all that is actually helping somebody. It's just crazy.
But that's how it is. That's always how it is. And for you to have a vessel like music to connect
Mm-hmm.
with people, everyone has their own lane in which they move in. Some people speak, some people dance, some people paint, whatever the case
Mm-hmm.
may be. People are artists with flat irons and makeup brushes. Like, there's a
Right.
number of gifts that people operate in and move people in. When did
Mm-hmm.
you know that music was your thing?
I knew music was my thing. Um, it's it's gonna sound crazy, but like, so I went to A&T on full scholarship. I ran track, and when I graduated, I was planning to go pro. So when I moved back here, I was dabbling in like doing music a little bit in a few studios. I had connected with a few people, but my goal, which had always been my goal since I was like 5, I was going to the Olympics, the Tokyo Olympics. Like that was my goal. My family knew that was my goal, but nobody knew that I was doing music for a career. So the 2 months of me being back, I was training. I was doing 2 a days, 3 a days. I mean, killing myself outside. Like, and every day I'm working out, all I can hear is music. All I can think about is my next song I'm gonna write. So at the end of the 2 months, I'm like, God, I've been doing both. I've been praying for your direction. So I'm still asking him to show me, why am I feeling this way? I've been having this dream to be an artist since I was a little bit, to be a track star since I was a little bitty girl. Like, why am I feeling like this now? I thought it was me. And then one day I went to my first studio here. I recorded a song. And when I recorded the song, it's like clear as day. I just felt God speaking to me so much so like I had to go outside. Like, it was just crazy. And God was just telling me, like, this is what I called you to do. Like, my father was a pastor, so I sang always in church. I've been singing all my life, but I didn't know until that moment. God was like, this is what you're doing music for. Like, I know you wanted to do track. I know you wanted to do that, but that platform wasn't big enough. Like, this is the platform that's going to reach the world. So when God told me that, so I don't curse in my music. I don't talk about nothing OD in my music. And that's why, because I have to stay the course.
Yeah.
And that's how I knew, like, when God told me, like, this is how you're going to touch people. After that, I just dedicated every breath, every day, every minute to music. And that's how it's been since then. I was 4 years ago. So.
Wow. Was it hard to walk away from track?
Was it hard?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like definitely one of the hardest decisions I had to make. Like, I wrote about it in one of my a book I was a part of, in my chapter. It was talking about choices in life, and that was one of the hardest choices. My family didn't understand, friends didn't understand, people didn't even know I could sing, so it just looked crazy, and it was very hard. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been doing that since I was 5 years old. So literally, and I've been excelling at it. So it's not. It was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard.
So that's a lot. It's I feel, and this is something I've been exploring here lately, is that we have so many gifts. And I
Yeah.
know for me, for a long time, I would struggle because everyone would make it seem like you could only operate in one gift.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I can do other things too. I'm like, I'm good at all kinds of things. Like, why can I only operate in one? And I
Mm-hmm.
realized I didn't have to.
Yeah.
There might be one that gets most of my focus at this particular time in my life because this
Mm-hmm.
season is what it calls for. But that
Right.
doesn't mean that it's the only gift that I'll ever, walk in. At one
Right.
point, you might walk in multiple gifts, and sometimes you might only be walking in one, and then others are just hobbies and things to keep you sane and keep you grounded,
Right.
and keep you safe, and keep you feeling loved and secure. Like,
Mm-hmm.
your gifts do so many different things, and that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you have to completely walk away from one or not walk or choose. In some
Yeah.
cases, you do. In some
Yeah.
cases, this is time to go. And like I've been in seasons like that, and it's like this is
Mm-hmm.
ending, and I feel it ending, and I'm okay with it because I've loved it every second that I did it while I was doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now
That
I'm
part.
about to love something else. As fully and as wholly, and it doesn't take away from this gift. because I still
Right.
love it the same. It's just now it's time for something new.
Right.
I think that is so dope, and I think that's beautiful that even though it was kind of rough, now you're full in what you do and who you are, and like and you're in the gift that you're operating in right now with your music and everything. So you do all the things with the music. You sing the songs, you produce the beats, like you do all the jazz. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Like, is it something that you decided that you wanted to be hands-on with every aspect of the creative process? Was it a thing where it's like, you know what, no one's gonna get it like I get it because it's in me? Like, what was the driving force behind you wanting to be in all areas of the production?
It's people that work with me who have worked with me like professionally on anything dealing with music. I'm just super OCD. Like I just like it done a certain way. Like this is my baby. So
Yeah.
everything from producing to engine. The reason why I started engineering was because I didn't want to work a 9 to 5 anymore. And like the people I have been doing music with, we had our own studio. So I'm like, yo, I can make money in other ways. So
Yeah.
that's what pushed me into engineering because I saw myself doing that full time. Like, I'm already good at, like, I'm working in the medical field on computers every day, learning new health information systems every day. Why can't I use my brain to do something musically and learn music technology? So that's really what pushed me to doing that. Because people that were recording me were doing a great job. It's just that, you know, I wanted to have another tool or another outlet I can use to make money. And when it came to producing, I started producing because producers just weren't giving me that sauce I needed. Like they weren't like, yo, you can't transfer funk, you can't transfer
Mhm.
soul, you can't transfer that in it. Like I can't tell the producer to give me that. So that was a frustration. I was like, you know what? I'm about to just make my own beats and I'm about to just make my own stuff. So once I did everything, it took me to a different level, to the point where I could lock myself in the room, produce my beat, upload it to the thing, record myself, mix it down, and then I could give it to the engineer and he could do whatever he needs to do. So it was a lot, me wanting to just know more, and also me being tired of waiting for people because I hate waiting. I'll just figure out on YouTube how to do it before I wait 3-4 months for you to figure it out. So
I mean, but I like it. I support it. Like you said. I mean, I'm like that in a lot of ways too. Like,
yeah.
this is my baby though. It's got my name on it. I don't play about my name. Like, it
Right.
has to be right because
It has
it's
to be
mine,
right.
and I'm producing. Like, I know what it's supposed to be because it's in my head, or I hear it in my. It's all my
Yeah.
thing. So no, I definitely get that. I definitely understand that.
Yeah.
So outside of the singer, producer, superstar extraordinaire, what does Shantel do in her free time? Like, what does that look like?
In my free time, I'm like super goofy. Like I'm super goofy. I like to do fun stuff. Like you want to go golfing, you want to go skating, you want to go run right quick, you want to go like just anything to get out the house. That's what I do. I mean, I'm into fashion, so I sew in my free time. In
That's
college, I had my own clothes. I have, these, but I have my own clothing line where I was physically sewing and customizing pieces for people, like by measurement. So I like fashion in my free time. I dabble and that, but outside of that, I'm really to myself. So I read a lot. Other than that, just be in the crib, really.
no, I like it. I support it. I mean, I always like to wonder what's on the other side of the coin. Like, I've found that a lot of creative, super bubbly people like their quiet time too. Like they like to
Yeah,
feel at the same time. Like, I'm like introverted, extroverted. Like, I love people. I
yeah.
love being out in the middle of the mix and everything. But at the same time, I like quiet. I
Yeah, I
like
have to
stillness.
recharge.
Yeah.
Like it takes a lot. Like just leaving for me now, just leaving the house for me takes a lot because I never know who I'm going to see. It's so many people who know me that I don't know. Like just today, I was in California Pizza Kitchens. I'm like Shantel SolÉ. Like okay, you just
I
got to
got
turn it
one.
on, but that takes energy. It takes
Yeah.
energy to pour out to people. To keep pouring out SolÉ and positivity. And that takes energy. So a lot of times I'm really just in the crib trying to recharge, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel it. Listen, when you pop it, you pop it. You can't help it. So let's talk about the brand ambassador of Tones of Melanin, of course. How did you
Yeah.
get involved?
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you get involved? How did you get connected? How did that relationship start?
Well, one of the founders or people that worked there was like one of my friends. I didn't even know she. I was actually following Tones of Melanin because I was like, yo, they stuff is dope. Not knowing who was connected to who, not even knowing they was here in Virginia. Like I'm
Right.
just following the page, just following the page, and come to find out it was through my homegirl Raven, and then the pieces just kind of fell together. I ended up meeting everybody, and then they heard my song on the radio, and then they wanted to collab, and here we are, Comes Melanin.
I love it. I'm here for it. I mean,
But I'm here for it too. Like I really support this wholeheartedly. Like I love the fact that I went to an HBCU. It's a totally different experience. Even if you didn't go to one, you still should just support the merch because HBCUs, we need those to stick around.
yeah, most definitely. I honestly, it was the same thing. I ordered some Croc Charms, and I posted them on my IG story. I'm like, look at these little cute Croc Charms I got from Tones and Melanin. And Ray was like, yeah, that's my cousin. I was like,
Right. Like,
what do you
I didn't
mean?
even tell nobody.
Right. He's like, Lynn, thanks for supporting. I'm like, what?
Right.
I didn't even notice what I was doing. I just thought they were cute. I saw the little girl with the Afro puffs and the black key and all those. I was like, oh, I need all these. I was just ordering the order. Like, but it was so crazy how that worked full circle. And definitely,
Right.
like, HBCUs need all the support. They need all the love
Most
all the
definitely.
time. And not just the ones that are popping, but the ones that
Right.
are out here, the one like all of them.
All of them.
They're all important for a number of reasons, like not
Yeah.
just for the historical value, but just for what they represent today, like what
Yeah.
they
Like,
mean for Black people, period. I mean, personally, I would ODU, but I know the value and the importance of an
uh-huh.
HBCU. I know what how much it's valued in communities because
Mm-hmm.
it becomes a whole family. I ain't never seen nothing like I've seen at an HBCU homecoming, okay? And I've been
Right?
to
It's
several,
just
not just local
different.
state, but I've been to a few, and I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like,
It feel like the biggest family reunion on
yeah,
earth. Like
yeah. The pride that HBCUs give to Black people,
yeah.
like it's a different kind of pride that I see people who have gone to HBCUs carry about themselves, where they
Mm-hmm.
went to school, why they went there, like a number of things. It radiates, like you can just tell. And it's like, yep, I get it. So
Yeah.
to have that representation on a platform like Tones of Melanin is important, and to have that where it can be celebrated across the board. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't go, but I can still buy a fly jacket. I can still get
Exactly.
my Croc
Yeah.
Charms and all the things. I can still get the hoodies and get the merch because
Mm-hmm.
I'm still a Black person at the end of the day. I still
Right.
support Black culture and Black people doing amazing things and moving in excellence. So it is what it is. It doesn't even matter. But I think the brand and the representation is so important, and especially
Yes.
for our younger people to see that too and get an idea. Like, when we were growing up, we had like a different world. We had Living Color where they had, the shirts
Exactly.
on and the merch on, and like you didn't even see it. You saw it, but you didn't realize what you
Yeah,
were
it was like
missing.
subliminal.
Right. And now, we're in a new digital age, and like how Tones of Melanin is taking over as far as like social media goes,
Mm-hmm.
we're doing the same thing for our people. It might
Right.
not be a whole show, but you've seen a lot of them dope TikToks. Like you've seen the reels, you've seen the marketing
Yeah.
stuff, and this is where they are now. They're not watching TV like that, but they own
Right.
social media. So when they see that representation, it's them like, I could go there. I could rock
Yeah.
these colors. I could do that, like
Right.
it's reaching a whole different level of young people to kind of
Mm-hmm.
inspire them to still go to these historical institutions. So I think that that's so dope. And then even
Yeah.
you have your shirts,
Mm.
your definition shirts. So
Yeah.
you got your own little merch line and stuff too. I peeped, I saw. Yeah,
Yeah. Got some more stuff coming slowly
I
but
love it.
surely.
Yeah, I love it so much. So let me ask you, what's next?
Well, you know, it's so much behind the scenes going on right now.
Yeah. Well, what can you
That,
share? Let's say that.
let's see, what I would like to be next
Okay.
is, hopefully a project, or maybe another single coming out sometime soon, or a visual. But what's next for me, honestly, is connecting with the right group, or connecting with the right person, and I know whoever it is, once we meet, it's gonna be divine. So, I'm just, honestly, I ain't even gonna be like, yeah, I got this coming up. Honestly, I'm in a waiting phase, and I'm waiting for direction. So once I get that direction, but for right now, all I know is what's next is bigger, and what's coming next is greater, and I'm already thankful and praising God for what's next. So,
That's real. And I'll tell you,
yeah.
like, people don't know that sometimes
Right.
all you're supposed to be doing is waiting.
And you have to be okay in that.
You have to be. Listen, I'm learning. It's a struggle for me because I'm used to being
Yeah.
like, go, go, do all the things, move, move, move,
I
move,
just want to do everything at the same time.
play, move, right? Just but I'm understanding that these waiting periods are so important because this is a different form of stretching. You
Yes.
know, it's one thing to be stretched in a different element in a different environment. It's a whole different thing to be stretched in a
Mm-hmm.
period of waiting, like
Yes.
having your patience stretched. Whoo, that's a new kind of thing. That's a new kind of feeling, and it's like,
It's,
ugh,
it's
ugh,
real new.
it's real new.
It's real new.
You don't even have to tell me because I'm like, honey, what? How long? Did he tell you how long? Do I have a tracking number?
You know what I'm saying? I ain't getting no tracking number. It say y'all got the you accepted my number and
Right.
everything, but
Y'all made the mailing label. Like,
it's just the label at this point.
can I just know when it's coming? So yeah, that's a real thing. But that's so important to tap into because a lot of
Yeah.
people miss it. Like sometimes you moving too fast and you miss the opportunity that you
Right.
were waiting on the whole time.
Yeah.
Trying to do too much, trying to think you getting ahead of the game and trying to put all the pieces together. It's like if you waited, they would have fallen together. And then
Right.
you wouldn't even be so tired because you've been running around so much. If you had just waited, everything was already working out for you.
Right.
You're so busy thinking you know all the things, and now you look at you. You tired, you exhausted, you don't want to do
Stress.
it no more, you stressed out, you anxious because now you really don't know what's gonna happen next because you ain't let it happen the way it was supposed to happen. Look at you. Look what
Woo.
right. And it's like I can't argue with you. Yeah, no. Listen.
Not for real,
But
man.
it's real. So for you to have that understanding and for you to be accepting of being in this place of kind of waiting, like, yeah, we have things that we want to happen next. We have goals that we want to achieve. We have all the plans in the world.
All the
But
plans.
sometimes the best thing you can do is wait because that
Yep.
opportunity is like right there. But if you move too fast, you're gonna miss it.
Yep.
That's real. I appreciate that. That's a real answer. That's big facts right there. So
Yeah.
I gotta ask you a question that I ask all my folks when they come on my show.
Uh huh.
It's called Lessons with Lindsey Live. So we got to talk about these lessons.
Okay.
What has been your greatest life lesson that has carried you thus far?
My greatest life lesson, I would say, it's new, like we just said, but I've realized it is that, like, I thought that the way this thing works, you know, is outside of religion, because I know everybody have different religion, different beliefs. I can see and understand past all that. So as a whole, I thought life was supposed to be like, you know, good and evil, and God is good, and as long as you pray and you read your Bible and you meditate and you keep this faith about you and you keep doing this, then it's like, okay, boom, you learned that lesson. Now you can go to step 2, and you get to do 2, and you learn 2, and then you get to go 3. But since you finish 1, you get to go to 2. You never go see 1 again. So now you know what I'm saying? I thought that I learned this lesson, I achieved this lesson, now I can move on. But my greatest life lesson is that the lesson never stops. Like, lesson 1 never stops. The test for chapter 1 never stops. You're going to keep getting the chapter 1 test even when you're in chapter 12 or year 12. Just because you pass it in year 1 doesn't mean that you're not gonna have to revisit it. Just because I mastered faith or peace last year, or I mastered my temper 2 years ago, doesn't mean a girl won't come up to me and try to slap me just because I mastered that 2 years ago. So my biggest lesson in life is like, just because you learned 1 lesson, it doesn't make you indestructible, or it doesn't make you invincible, or it doesn't mean that you won't be tested in that area again. If that makes sense. Because I had this mindset like, I passed that one, let's see what's next.
Right.
And I said, well, why am I getting the same test? Because you're thinking it's a test. It's a principle I'm trying to get you to learn.
Yeah.
Not just passing this season. I need you to learn within this season so you can use this for who you need to be, not just passing this season. Because what if the season come again?
Right.
Not if you prepared for season 1, 2, you know what I'm saying? Like the next version of the season. So that is my big lesson. When I say I just got that realization like last week, because I felt like I was in this cycle, like, man, I've been here. I learned this lesson. I learned patience. I learned this. And it's like, well, if you learned it, why are you so sad?
Right.
You know, so I just had to take a step back, like, whoa, I was looking at this picture all wrong.
Mm-hmm. That's so real. I had a similar experience earlier this week, late last week. I'm sitting there like, oh snap. I'm going through all. I was like, I've been here before. Why am I here this time? But it was to learn a different lesson.
Yeah.
It was the same exact situation, but it was for me to learn a different lesson, for me to understand. Like, I wanted to be upset, but I couldn't even be upset because I was like, no, this is not a time to be upset. This is now an opportunity to grant yourself grace. And because you were aware of the role you played in the situation, now you have the chance to fix it.
Right.
Like, oh,
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
It's real though. It's like so real. Like I used to be one of those people. I would beat myself down when I would mess things up or make a mistake or slip and trip and fail or whatever the case may be. But now I'm like, nah, what do you learn from this? And like, how do you grow from this? How do you evolve and make this into something else? And like that, and that's what it is. Like when you realize that it never stops.
Yeah.
It's never just like a lesson it's not like school. And I think that's something like, okay, I had the quiz. Maybe that was just a quiz. They want the test. It was just a quiz to get me ready for the test. So, is this the test now? Did I pass? Are we moving on? It's like, no, you don't move on to the next. Like you said, it's like, it's to learn the principle. It's to get the skill set. I'm going to keep giving you this test because I want you to get to the point where you do it without thinking about it.
Yes.
Keep giving to you because I want you to get to the point where it doesn't phase you the way it used to phase you. Yeah, you get through it, but you can get through it even better. Like you can do it more effortlessly than you did the first time. So I'm gonna keep giving it to you until you master this thing because you need this thing, like you said, to sustain you.
Right.
Like I'm gonna keep drilling you with this one thing because this is gonna be the thing at your make or break moment that makes you. And we don't realize that sometimes we sit there like, I did this work, like I got it. And it's like, no, you got part of it. And good job.
Like you worried about the wrong thing. I ain't even focused on that part of the book. You know, I'm focused over here. You worried about what you did. It's not even that. Like,
exactly. And sometimes we feel like we're being punished because we're getting the same lesson. It's not a punishment, it's prep. I'm preparing you. You want this thing, right? I heard you when you were telling me all these big dreams and these big goals and these big ideas you have. In order for you to do that, you have to get this.
Yes.
Like I heard what you said. I'm granting your blessings, but you're missing it because it's not coming to you the way you want it to come to you. And that's going to be your own downfall.
Yeah.
Like I need you to trust me. I need you to understand a little bit that I got you. I heard you. I understand completely, you know? So I love that. That's beautiful. That's a word. I like that a lot. I like that a whole lot. Tell the people how they can find you, how they can get in contact with you. What's your socials? Where you at?
I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. That's Shantel_SolÉ. I'm also on this new app called Fanbase. That's same Shantel_SolÉ. It's where I put all my exclusive content, behind the scenes, real more interpersonal type thing. And then Facebook, it's at Soleil Chantel. And I'm always up there. YouTube is the same thing. You can DM me, email me. I'm very down to earth, very open. So,
And where's the music? Tell the folks where the music is.
oh yeah, I'm talking about me. Look, so the music is on all streaming platforms. If you use Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, Google Play, anything where you could purchase or stream music, it's going to be there under Shantel SolÉ.
Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. I appreciate you, man. I want to let you know, if I didn't tell you before, I think you are amazing. I think what you have overcome and what you've endured and what you create and what you do for people and how you make them feel is amazing, because it's not something that just anybody can do. And the pride that you take in your work, like, I met you, and when I met you, you weren't singing or anything. But then we met again at the brunch, and you performed, and I actually was able to hear your music and to see you perform, and the energy that you give off, and the vibe that you have, and how you interact with the people. Everything's just so super dope. And if I had never told you before, I want to tell you in front of all the folks that I think that you were simply amazing.
Thank you so much. I
You
appreciate
are
it.
welcome. And like I told you, I would want you to stick around with me for 1 second. But for everybody out there, thank you so much for tuning in tonight for another episode of Lessons with Lindsey Live. I did not let you guys know, but I'm gonna tell you right now, we have moved to a bi-weekly schedule. So I won't be here next week, but I'll be here the week after that. So y'all make sure that y'all check back in, follow on YouTube and Facebook, like, share, and give it out to all the folks. Y'all have a great rest of your week. Bye.